hi guys!
Hello, lovelies. So, can you guess where we're going this time? We're headed back to one of our favorite places today, and this time we're bringing my parents along with us. They've never traveled outside of the country before, so this was very exciting for them. And it was exciting for us to be able to bring them to Mexico. I mean, technically they have been to Mexico before, but only as far as Juarez. And that was back when they said you didn't need a passport to go to Mexico. So this was their first official time traveling outside of the country. If you guys remember from our honeymoon vlog, Erik's family owns a beach house in Mexico. So that's where we decided to take my parents on this relaxing little family vacation.
So I don't close my eyes.
We had a quick stop in Phoenix to change planes, and then we were off to Puerto Vallarta. Erik's mom was actually already in Mexico, so she picked us up from the airport and brought us back to our little home away from home, which is really not that little at all, honestly. And it's also listed on Airbnb, so let's take a little house tour of Casa Iguana. The entire property is completely enclosed by gates, fences, and walls, which offers privacy as well as security. The house is also surrounded by tons of gorgeous native plants and flowers and trees, making it feel like the most perfect tropical oasis. There's also a private pool in the backyard, which is perfect for days when it's super hot, but you just don't feel like getting covered in sand at the beach. There's an outdoor kitchen here in the backyard as well, overlooking the pool. There's also a pool house back here for any pool maintenance, and there's even a natural bird sanctuary back here. Every evening around 5 p.m. they gather in the trees behind the pool and sing bird songs before they go to sleep. There's a super long carport that can fit a couple vehicles and opens out into the backyard, where we'll find the outdoor kitchen, patio space, lots of seating, and of course the pool for sunbathing and swimming. This is a really nice area to hang out in the mornings and catch the rising sun, or in the evenings if you're trying to escape the hot sun. This house is a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom home. The first bedroom and bathroom are here on the ground level, and the other 2 are upstairs. This is the laundry room, complete with extra supplies and pool toys. This is the ground floor bedroom. This is where Erik and I stayed while we were here. It also has its own bathroom. Every bedroom in this house has its own bathroom actually, which is really nice. Then we have this beautiful stairwell that takes you to the rest of the house, which is upstairs. Up here you'll find not only the other 2 bedrooms and bathrooms, but a living room, another kitchen, a TV room, and a beautiful balcony. This is the full kitchen, complete with a fridge, stove, oven, and dishwasher. This kitchen has everything you need to cook while you're here, if that's what you want to do. Then off the kitchen we have the TV room. There's a Roku in here for you to stream your favorite shows, as well as the most comfortable recliners ever. And did I mention the huge balcony in the front of the house? There's more seating area out here, and just on the other side of those houses there is the beach. This was one of our favorite spots to have a meal and watch the sunsets. The balcony is just off of the main living room, which is also huge and super cozy, as well as very nicely decorated with lots of eclectic local pieces. There's a little bar in the living room, another level of seating area, and then the bedrooms. This is the smaller bedroom with its own private balcony, and I didn't actually get video of that bedroom's bathroom, but this is the other upstairs bathroom. They're all designed pretty similarly. And that bathroom belongs to this final bedroom, which actually has 2 private balconies and a great view overlooking the pool and the backyard. My parents stayed in this bedroom, and Erik's mom stayed in the other bedroom up here. So as you can see, there's plenty of room for a group of people or a family to come stay here. We were all very comfortable in our own spaces, but we also loved to gather in the common areas when we wanted to hang out as a family. This balcony also had a nice view of the mountains off in the distance. Anyway, the day we got there was actually Valentine's Day, so we went out to a wonderful steak dinner at a local restaurant here on the beach, complete with mariachi performances. And the next morning we woke up to a beautiful sunrise, birds singing, and even some iguanas resting in the palm trees outside the house. There's lots of iguanas around here, which is why this house is named Casa Iguana. They just roam around like stray cats and take cat naps on the branches of the palm trees. Which is smart because if you're not looking for them, you'd never see them up there. They totally blend in. After that, we walked down to the ocean and watched the seagulls and pelicans diving for fish out there. This must have been their lunchtime. And then we got hungry, so we took a walk into the neighboring town of La Penita, and we got some delicious food there. On our honeymoon, I had decided that this restaurant had the absolute best coconut shrimp I had ever tasted. So I wanted to bring my parents here so they could try it for themselves. And it was just as delicious as I remembered it was. Then after lunch, we walked off our food by walking back home, but not before we got a chance to sit at the beach and watch the ocean waves. By the way, we walked about an average of 8 miles a day while we were on this trip, so we definitely got our exercise in, but it was so fun. Speaking of walking, here's my dad caught on camera photobombing us as my mom's trying to get a cute video of Erik and I walking to the beach to watch the sunset. He definitely had vacation brain by this point. This was another thing we tried to do every day that it was clear skies, was walk to the beach for the sunset. Because it really is a view that you simply cannot miss while you're here. I, of course, was trying to get some nice golden hour lighting selfies with Erik, but he just wanted to play in the sand. Honestly, I couldn't blame him though. I loved just standing in the water as the waves would wash over my feet. There was something so calming about it. Anyway, here's some ocean waves ASMR. What was really nice about this vacation was that we never really had any plans. We would just wake up and do whatever we felt like doing that day, which was exactly the way we wanted it, just carefree and relaxing. My dad, however, was on a mission to find a guitar while we were there, so he walked back to La Penita with a friend to meet up with a guy who was going to sell him a guitar. Meanwhile, me and Erik and my mom went for a walk on the beach. We walked into town to get some groceries that we needed for the house so we could cook while we were there. And of course had to stop and watch some pelicans along the way. They were very active here on this beach.
Estuvimos buscando hasta que hallamos, ¿eh?
Sí, hallamos, mira nomás.
Ay, ay, ay.
Ahora nos echamos unas cancioncitas.
Sí.
De las dos hacemos una.
Sí.
My dad ended up finding 2 guitars in La Penita, so he was very happy. And then he met up with us for lunch back in town, where we had our daily fix of seafood with an ocean view. This restaurant was owned by a local friend who also gives guided tours of all kinds of excursions here. I'll link her page in the description box down below, so if you're ever here and want to do some fun activities, definitely book with her. After lunch, we came back home and decided to cool off by hanging out in the pool. Then usually around this time of day, the boys would go inside and take naps, while the girls would stay outside and work on our tans. My mom even discovered a very efficient way to tan her legs. Then my dad woke up and wanted to try out his new guitar. had some friends over that night who cooked dinner for us, including the absolute best shrimp I have ever had. And then after dinner, I guess it was my turn to sing. Next morning we woke up and Erik decided he wanted to go for a run on the beach. Thankfully we brought workout clothes too, so we threw those on and went for a run up and down the beach for a while. This outfit is from my two favorite activewear brands, so I'll post links to their sites below. And then it was time for animal sightings. Look at the iguanas moving. They're like, I'm out of here. Because of that guy. After that very exciting crocodile encounter, it was time for our daily walk on the beach. I had to also make sure that I got video of our outfits, of course. All this daily walking around in the sun was one of the reasons why we all came back home thinner and more tan. I'm sure the fact that all we ate was seafood while we were here also contributed to that too. Another thing we did was go to the local artisans market. Somehow I didn't get any video of that, but I did get video of this beautiful ocean wave ring that I got there. Someone handmade this, which was so cool, and it made the perfect pinky ring. Later that evening, Erik and I walked to this cute little restaurant on the beach to have dinner, and I was surprised to find that this turned out to be my new favorite place to get coconut shrimp here. It was just as delicious as my previous favorite, but this one was a closer walk and it was on the beach. This restaurant also had a really cool parrot who would greet you as you walked in. The next day it was nice and sunny, so it was a full beach day for us. Erik's mom didn't end up joining us for this one, but we were able to get my parents to come out and play in the ocean with us, which was super fun. I honestly hadn't seen my parents playing in the ocean since I was a little kid. But they had a ton of fun, and we all had a great day just hanging out at the beach together. My dad was really entertained by Erik just jumping through the waves like a fish. And I was really entertained by how much fun my dad was having on the boogie boards.
And you say, what's your name, Tony? Hola. Hola.
After the beach, we got hungry, of course, so we took my parents back to that restaurant with my new favorite coconut shrimp. My dad got to talk to their parrot, and our parents had a lot of fun negotiating with all the local vendors walking around the beach selling their homemade items. My dad loves negotiating. It's like a game to him. The next morning, we were feeling creative, so we sat outside on the patio for a while and did some artwork. I did a watercolor painting of Coral Island in the sunset, and Erik did a charcoal drawing of the water fountain by the pool. Here we are again on yet another daily beach walk. Our parents actually went on an excursion today to Las Varas to go look for a guitar case for my dad's new guitar. We didn't feel like going though, so we just stayed on the beach and relaxed for the day. We found another delicious and adorable little restaurant on the beach to eat at for lunch. And I was actually very impressed with one of the local vendors walking around on the beach selling donuts by balancing the entire tray of them on his head. On our walk back to the house, we saw a bit of a commotion on the beach, which turned out to be the local fishermen coming back with their catch for the day. What was cool was there was more than just fish in there. There was some stingrays, and we even saw some jellyfish. Obviously, this attracted not only a crowd of people on the beach, but a flock of hungry birds as well. Then we got back home, and it was time to cool off by hanging out in the pool again. Our parents had gotten back home by this point, so it was time for the guys' daily nap, while the girls hung out at the pool and worked on our tans and swam. Then, after everyone woke up, it was time to walk back to the beach to go watch the sunset again. If you haven't figured it out by now, this was basically all we did on this entire vacation. Just walking on the beach, swimming in the pool, eating delicious seafood, and watching sunsets on the beach. We found this quirky little frame someone put on the beach, so this was our somewhat failed attempt to get a cute video in the frame. As you can see, we couldn't really get it to line up that well, but it was still a cute video. There was even a band playing when we got there. This was my next attempt at trying to get some good golden hour lighting selfies. Of course, the moms are chit-chatting away and weren't paying attention though. But I was able to finally get some cute shots with Erik, and I was even able to gather everyone after that for a good family group shot. Now here's some more beach sunset ASMR for you. The next day we went back to the artisans market in La Pinita, which I actually remembered to film this time. We bought some really cool souvenirs, some yummy treats, and then Erik wanted to play with the selfie stick I had.
Oh! Oh, us, yes.
The freshwater pearl necklace I'm wearing here was one of my favorite finds at this market, along with a beautiful poncho and some really cool pants that I found, which you'll see later in this video when I wear them. Then later that evening, we all went out to eat at one of our favorite restaurants here in town. It's called La Pineda, and it's right here by the boat dock. It has beautiful views and delicious food. This was our second to last night here in Mexico, so we wanted to spend our last couple nights going to some fancier places. And Erik's mom said this place does some really fun stuff for you if it's your birthday, so of course we had to tell them it was my mom's birthday, and she played along very well. On our last full day here in Mexico, I actually had some work I had to get done, but honestly, I cannot think of a better place to work remotely from. Then later in the day, we took a fun little drive through the jungle to this secret beach that we found. We packed some lunch and just spent our last day hanging out on the beach. We also packed some binoculars, so my dad enjoyed his time under the umbrella watching boats way off in the distance. Then, later that evening, I put on my cool new pants I got at the artisans market, and we all went to eat our last supper here in Mexico at the beautiful Vista Guayabitos restaurant. It's up on top of a hill overlooking the whole area, so it was the perfect place to spend our last evening there. We got a great view of our home for the last 9 days. We even got a surprise treat of getting to see some whales from there. I mean, they were still pretty far out, so it was hard to really see them. But we never would have seen them from the beach, so it was still really great that we got such a good view from the restaurant. The parents ordered some celebratory margaritas, while Erik and I stuck to limonadas, our favorite drink while we're here. And then surprisingly, I didn't order coconut shrimp for once. I got this delicious shrimp pasta, and our food was perfectly timed. It came out right on time for us to enjoy it while we watched the sunset. And it sure was a beautiful one. Technically the sun was setting behind us, but it was still really cool because we got to see the sunset from the opposite point of view of where we would usually see it on the beach. So instead of watching the sun actually set, we just got to watch all the clouds turn pink and reflect off the ocean water. And then as you can see, the view was still amazing even after dark with everything lit up. It was such a beautiful way to spend our last night here. And then the next day it was time to make our journey back home. Here's me repping my real estate team's logo on my hat. I always like to wear this hat on the flight back so I don't have to do my hair. Plus, who doesn't love some subliminal advertising and a bit of shameless self-promotion? Anyway, the flight back wasn't too bad, but it did take a really long time to get through customs. It was my parents' first time going through customs, so that was quite an experience for them. But all in all, they really enjoyed their first official trip out of the country. We all had a really relaxing time. It was exactly the kind of vacation that we needed. We're already planning our next trip back here, honestly. We're really blessed to have this house in our family as a place to just comfortably get away whenever we need to. Well, that's it for our Valentine's vacation in Mexico. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next travel vlog. Te quiero mucho!